There's no reason for alarm. I am Dr. Felderblausen. And this is my food house. Welcome. Please allow me to read the menu for this evening. First, for the appetizer, we had the Sevilla-Käse, the hiccups, und das Disinfekt. Gesundheit is the name of this special. We have 3 main courses. First, for the manic depressives, we have the upside down, sunny side up, angel food cake, deviled egg platter, served as a popsicle flambe. For the more politically minded, we have the right wing of a chicken to be served on the rump roast of a jackass. And my personal favorite is the American cheese and navy beans drowned in sauerkraut and Wiener Schnitzel on a Kaiserroll. Do you proud my fatherland? Excuse me. Oh, I get excited. And we only have one choice for dessert. We have 2 mounds of ice cream with the cherries on top and the banana in the middle with the whipped cream. We call it the Freudian split. Excuse me, I must go through off stage. Please welcome the Desert Fox, Seth MacFarlane.
That was great. Yeah, y'all been keeping up with this Nancy Kerrigan thing? Well, okay, it's a bit dated, but that's okay. I was looking at a picture of Nancy the other day, and I couldn't help but notice the size of her teeth. And I think that if the skating thing doesn't work out, that maybe she could really make a couple bucks, as a bottle opener. I was on vacation a couple weeks ago. Went home for a little bit, take a rest from my artist career at RISD. Got a chance to catch up on the latest issues of National Geographic. I'm just gonna take my glasses off. Like that's right, my Superman impression. Doesn't that seem a little ridiculous? Because she doesn't know who he is when he's wearing the glasses, but when he takes them off, I don't know, it just seems a little unusual. Would it be the same if it was like contacts? Just like, oh, hold on a second.
It's you, Superman!
Oh man, I tell you. I was watching a television the other day. I happened to catch that old commercial. You remember that commercial that Jimmy Stewart used to do where he would, his grandkids would come in from the freezing cold and he would have his bowl of home cooking soup ready for them, hot and ready.
Come on in here, kids. Try some of this home cooking soup. It's good, yeah. Yeah, it tastes good and it's good for you too. Yeah.
And it's like, it's just, these kids are freezing cold, their noses are running, they could use, children's Tylenol maybe, they're catching cold. But no, he just gives them the soup. Now, can any problem be solved with a bowl of this stuff? I don't know.
Oh, come on. Oh, geez, you're pregnant with triplets and you're only 12 years old. Well, come here, sit down. I'll try some of this home cooking soup. Do some good. Yeah, you've been tested HIV positive? Oh, geez, this'll clear that right up. There you go.
Oh, all right. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh boy, I tell you, I was looking at one of those, what do you call it, those hallusions? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Those paintings that supposedly, it looks like, this mess of paint, and supposedly if you stare at it long and hard enough, you can see, an image, and, I'm sorry, I can't see a fucking thing. I don't know whether mine was broken. There's like kids, little tiny kids are going up there going,
I see 2 coyotes and a baby coyote sitting under the moon. It's like, oh, I see a spaceship.
I'm just like, I see a wet sheep sucking on a loaf of Korean exchange students. or something. I don't know what that's all about. I got a letter from Carl Sagan, not to me personally, but from the Planetary Society, which he heads up. And I'm asking money to help out the space program. And don't get me wrong, I'm all in favor of the space program. It's just ever since this Mars probe thing, I haven't been able to, I just lost a little bit of respect for them. And I just, a probe just doesn't get up and walk away. And the only thing I can think of that may have happened to it is,
Well, let's just say I have a lovely new set of NASA hubcaps on my Peugeot.
somewhere off in the distance, a dog barked. Thank you. I was down at Mardi Gras down there in New Orleans for spring break, and it was kind of fun. It was just totally nuts because you go down there and you catch these beads from the floats and you take them down to the French Quarter, and the women there will show you their driver's license photos, and it's totally nuts. I mean, people just piss drunk all over town, and I actually saw 3 guys just completely blitzed off their asses walking up the street, and one of them says to the other one,
No way, man. You ain't been circumcised.
How that conversation got started. It's like being down there is being like in the middle of a Reagan press conference to me, like where nothing is coherent at all. You say, Mr. President, your administration has largely ignored the problem of homelessness in this country. What are your plans to deal with that in the future?
Well, I remember when I was little, I had a basset hound named Eugene. Well, one day Eugene ran away, and we thought for sure he'd gone for good. Then one day, about 6 months later, we heard a dog barking outside the front door. We opened the door, and sitting there, wagging his tail, was a very happy dog. And we would have taken him in, except we'd never seen him before. Next question.
Sir, environmental protection, the environment is going to hell, and everyone knows it. Your administration has not given this issue the proper attention that it deserves. How would you respond to that?
Well, I remember one time when I was back in Hollywood. It was the 1950s, I think, or was it the 40s? I don't remember. When I was at the MGM studio commissary, and I got myself a meatball sandwich. And let me tell you, that thing looked tasty, so I take a bite of it. And what should happen but one of those gall-darn meatballs falls onto the floor. Well, I leaned over to pick it up, and danged if I didn't find a quarter. So I sort of considered this my lucky meatball sandwich. Well, by the time I got to the White House, people were telling me I should get rid of it. But I know better. Then one day I woke up and it was gone. And I looked everywhere, but I couldn't find it. And it turned out that gopher had gotten into the house and eaten it up. So I went down to the White House cafeteria and got myself another one. And it tasted even better than the first. Next question.
Sure you guys weren't waiting for that one to be over for you. No.
Just keep going, we want more.
I don't know. Well, anyway, I tell you, I was watching Star Trek the other day for a change. I'm a big Trekkie, I love it. I'm a big fan of Shatner, all the guys,
Captain's log, Sunday, 876911. While on a routine survey mission in the Beta Caribbean subsystem, the Enterprise has come upon a strange anomaly.
Captain, I said sort of sketchy to pick up exactly what it is. Oh, you're right.
Hey, what's it do with Captain Kirk? This guy's putting on weight, let me tell you. Hey, we were watching both arms, Shannon. You're coming through time zones. Gee, you have to deal with that.
But the thing that always struck me as odd about the show was that there was never, they would have all these incredible adventures, but they would never discuss them afterwards, You'd never see, Bones and Spock and Kirk and, sitting in the ship's lounge, just see Kirk saying, you guys remember the time I was coming up to the transporter and I got split into 2 halves? And, one of you was good and the other one was evil? That was fun. or like, hey, oh man, dude, remember last week? Oh, you guys remember last week? Have I told you about this? Remember last week when we accidentally got stuck in a parallel universe where there were like duplicates of ourselves, but they were all evil and nasty and stuff? It was nuts. It was nuts. We had trouble getting back. We got back though. It was cool. It's fun. Remember the time you died? Oh man. It's good that you're back though. That's cool. I don't know what to deal with that. Well, speaking of impressions, I got a little something I'm going to try here tonight. I tried this the other night. The Rizzy comedy night over in the tap room there. It seemed to work pretty well. This is something I call blend-ins. Thanks. Thank you, person over here. This is where I start off, with one voice, and it sort of fades into another one. By the end, you can sort of guess who it is. So it goes something like this. Mr. Reagan, I remember where you left your wallet?
I just had it, but I can't recall what I did with it. I don't really have the time to go looking right now because I gotta, sort of get out over there in the golf course and start looking for gophers. Because, that's what I'm supposed to do. I gotta check out gophers over there. We got big trouble over there. Trouble over here in varmints. Or say something like, hello, folks. I'm afraid I can't stay going up so this evening because it appears that the elevator seems to be broken tonight. That's exactly what happened. You had my word on it. Let me make that perfectly clean.
Nixon's a favorite, I'll tell you. Or else.
Hey, come over here, sit down, try some of this home cooking soup. It's good for you too. Unless of course, want to, unless of course it's you sort of like think it sucks.
Home cooking soup sucks. Hey, people, like check out Jimmy's store.
Yeah, he's like old and stuff,
I bet like if you look at his butt, it looked like a roadmap of Massachusetts. Oh boy. I don't know. Okay. Or how about this?
This is the last straw, Jetson. You're fired! I'm sick and tired of your stunts, Jetson, coming into work late. Oh yeah, and then there was the time you dropped Winchester's drawers in the OR. I'm telling you, Pierce, I had to believe I was mad after that time, but deep down inside I was laughing to beat all hell.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay.
Susan, eh? I like the sound of that. Speak. Find out if that man works for me, if he works for that other company across the street, the one that's responsible for producing Saturday Night Live with Lena Coffee, Will Hartman, Gloria Jackson, Dennis Miller. You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Behind it is another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound of mind, of shadow and substance, of phase and ideas, but by all means, make sure you don't go in there, or else you could seriously disrupt the very fabric of the space. That Christopher Lloyd is a funny guy. Can I understand this? That is good stuff. That is really good stuff. And I'm sorry to tell you that I am leaving the Tonight Show. I'm sorry to reveal that to you, but there is someone else who's going to replace me, and he's right here, right now. And his name is Timothy Frog. Hi, Timothy Frog here. He's going to be here. Yay!
There's something. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, okay, now for a completely obscure Scooby-Doo impression.
Scoob, look at over there. It's a skeleton. It's a skeleton. Scooby-Doo.
Well, Mr. Clinton, what are you doing here?
Oh, sorry, I hear somebody say doobie.
I'm starting to think, speaking of politics, I'm starting to think that Al Gore and Doug Llewellyn might be the same guy. You know, it's like, George Bush's policy of trickle-down economics cannot be allowed to continue. Whereas you got Doug Llewellyn. How do you think Judge Wapner will decide this case? Will he find for the defendant the Acme Jetpack Company or for the plaintiff, Wile E. Coyote? I don't know what that's all about, but I don't know. Al Gore seems to me, it's just, you know, the guy is brilliant, but he's so brilliant that I'm sure in school he was just, you know, ostracized beyond belief. You know, people come up and they're saying, hey Al, what you writing there? Stories. Science fiction stories about visitors from other planets. Let me read one. Oh no, I never let anyone read my stories. Why not? Huh? What if they didn't like them? What if they said I was no good? I don't think I would take that kind of rejection. Funny thing too is Bill Clinton seems exactly like the kind of guy who would have bullied Al Gore. You know? Like, hey there, what you doing, son? You doing some extra credit work there? You're learning outside the classroom? Is that what you know? Kick your fucking ass? Oh, dear. You guys heard about this guy who, actually, speaking of geeks, who like took the time to actually measure what Barbie as in the doll, what her proportions would be if she were like a real person? I mean, what the fuck is going on with that? This guy, there's some guy sitting around in his apartment, you know, sees a Barbie commercial on television. Man, that Barbie sure is pretty. Dang, what if she were my size? You know, and you know, and the funny thing to me is like all the bizarre names that they come up with these Barbies. You know, you got like Party Time Barbie, or you know, Ballroom Tux Ken. You know, how about like Hitler Youth Ken? You know, that's kind of along the lines of it. But you know, or like Loose and Easy Skipper. You know, PMS PJ. I don't know. Or you know, give like celebrities. You know, Robert Packwood, give him his own doll. Itchy Fingers Bob. You know? Or like, you know, Seamstress Lorena. All right. Okay, all right, that's the last one I'll ever do. All right, you know, or, and what was the last one? Let's see. Oh, yes, Hollow-Headed Kurt. That's right. That sounds more like a Garbage Pail Kid than anything else, though, I think. It's, wow, my grandfather, the thing about Barbie dolls was they're amazingly sexist. My grandfather was a sexist himself. You know, he used to have this thing he used to say to me, son, you just remember this. A woman is nothing but a life support system for a vagina. Okay, Gramps. Whatever you say. Okay. Hey, you all seen this Schindler's List? Yeah, great movie, Schindler's List. It got me thinking though, I mean, I noticed Hitler wasn't actually in this movie, but it got me thinking, what do you think the stupidest thing about the guy was? I mean, it was the mustache, basically. I mean, because when you think about it, Hitler got up every morning, you know, went to the mirror, looked at himself in the mirror, just to sort of, whereas Charlie Chaplin and like Oliver Hardy were doing this as a joke, you know? Like, oh man, people are gonna get a gas out of this, they're gonna love this. But it's nuts. Okay. Yeah, write it down. We just go into the next page. Tell you heard about the new PC Lucky Charms that they're coming out with? Politically correct Lucky Charms featuring yellow moons, orange stars, green clovers, blue diamonds, purple horseshoes, and pink triangles. Okay. Thank you very much. Growing from somewhere out there. Let's see. Airline travel is I do a lot of that. I do a lot of traveling on airlines, and I think the thing that it strikes me as odd is that what good is a seatbelt really going to do you? On a plane. They always get the sign going, fasten seatbelts. I mean, what is it? Like the pilot's got somebody jam on the brakes for a deer or something? I mean, it's not going to happen, you know? And like, you can tell that a lot of these airline workers are just fed up with their jobs and they just hate it. Like, I was on one flight when the stewardess goes, all right, please direct your attention to the front of the cabin. Should we
find ourselves in an emergency situation, the first thing you want to do is stop screaming.
Or like, you know, and you know you're in trouble when they say, all right, we'd like to welcome two of our first-time flyers on this flight here today, the pilot and the co-pilot. You know that's bad. And those pillows that they give you, those pillows and the blankets that are just tiny, these microscopic things. You know, she brings them over, you know, I'm like, excuse me, I asked for a pillow, I think you gave me a velament. I don't know what this is. You know, the blanket, like I'm looking for a Bazooka Joe kind of thing. I don't know what the deal is with that. Hey, one experience I had when I was flying, I was on my way to this rugby match, and that's not that interesting, forget it. Well, anyway, okay. But motels, that's another big one for me. It's a lot of traveling, so I stay in a lot of motels. Motel 6. Who came up with this name? Motel 6. It's like a sequel to a B horror film, you know? Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, thanks a lot. Okay. Stayed in some bad motels, bad dumping motels. Stayed in this one hotel, they stole my towel, which I thought was sort of noisy too. And one thing, that's the thing about living in the city. There's like all these noises, and the one that does it for me the most, the one that really grinds my gears, are these car alarms. These car alarms that make like 80 billion different sounds. 80 million different sounds, and it's just like, he's lying there in bed in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden you just hear this. I don't know.
My lips is dry. You get the gravel.
Okay, but I don't know. I mean, and the thing is, the funny thing about some of these alarms is like, you know these alarms that like when you walk like that close to the car, it just goes off? Like it's like this really like hyper tense person. No, it's like this, get away from me, please! I mean, are all appliances gonna have like this sort of personality now? Are you gonna like, you know, you gonna come home, your stereo talks to you, it's like, hey! Come any closer to that Slim Whitman CD and I swear I'll belt you. You know? Or like, you know, you go to check your alarm clock in the morning and it's got this attitude, you know, maybe it's 6:30, maybe it's not. My mom liked that joke. I don't know. Anyway, oh man, I happened to catch one of those 70s sex movies on television the other day. You know the ones where like, basically the music will tell you when somebody's about to score because you get like this, honey, where are you? I'm in the bedroom. And the chase music, they got this generic chase music they use for every movie, and it's like. I happened to read an article in the newspaper the other day. It said the Loch Ness Monster has now been proven to be a fake. This is true. They finally, the guy on his deathbed. I don't write this stuff. I just tell it. Well, anyway, they found the guy who like supposedly came up with this myth, who was like responsible for perpetuating this myth, on his deathbed, revealed that it was false. And I'm just wondering how this happened. Or was the guy just lying there on the verge of death, and he goes, "Guys, I can't keep this up anymore." See, look, it's just a puppet. See, but I got dogs. Any dog owners here? No. Good dog man. Well, the fun thing I like to do with my dogs is that, you know, when you put like a dog's food down, like, you know, and he starts eating it, and then if you go and reach for it, he makes this growling sound, like exactly the same time as you're moving your hand, so you can pretend like you're the one making him do it, so it's like, it's a lot of fun, believe me. With me right now, the big thing that goes on at my house between me and my dog is the leg humping thing, and And people are telling me I should stop because the dog's starting to walk with a limp. Sorry. You ever taken the time to look at a dog's penis? You ever taken the time? Otherwise known as old Crayola. All right, this is my big question about the dog's penis. Where does it go? Where does it go? Sometimes it's not there, sometimes it is. It hides. It's like this retractable car radio antenna. It's like sometimes it comes out, it's like, and it goes back, and you never know when it's going to be there, when it's not going to be there. It's just, there's no telling. Oh man, I don't know. Cats are a lot of fun too. I own some cats. Cats. The funny thing about cats is that little round spot that passes for you know what I'm saying, passes for their ass. And it's like this almost shaven area. You know what I'm saying? It's like got these sort of crust slits, like you'd see in like a camera aperture or like a cake frosting tube, and it's hey, listen, I don't need you, but I don't need you guys. I can go back in my room and do this by myself. But it's hard fun like this. Yeah. And for some reason, my mother was always, my mother's like the big animal person in our house, and she was always the one who seemed to know like when the cat was in heat. You know, she'd be like, hey, don't let the cat out, she's in heat. Do not let the cat out, she's in heat. And she would always seem to know when there was like, you know, when there was a male cat around. Hey, don't let her out, she's in heat. I think there's a male cat out there somewhere. There's a male cat running around out somewhere there by the yard, and it's just going to be big trouble if you let her out, so don't do it. You know? I mean, how does she know? How the hell does she? I mean, did she have problems with this cat before?
Say, he was making a pass at me the other day, and what I did, I just showed him my wedding ring, and I cut him up real fast, mister.
Okay, oh yeah, big response out of that one. Hey, y'all read, I'm going to close with this joke. Y'all read the big Menendez brothers' recent development in that little affair. What happened was, this is according to their testimony, this is supposedly true. What happened was that, you know, obviously Eric and Lavin had shot their parents, and what happened was they shot their father, and then they went to their mother, because they were all out of ammo, and said, Mom, can we have some money to go get more ammo? I'm not making this up, this is true. So she says, fine, yeah, take some out of my pocketbook, because the mother was as nuts as a kid, keep in mind. And it's like, I mean, I equate this to coming home in like the afternoon. You walk into your apartment, and there's like a burglar unloading your television set, and he turns to you and he goes, oh, dude, thank God, I thought I was going to have to do this by myself. Can you grab the end of this thing? Sure, thanks. Okay, big finish. Thanks a lot, folks.
Okay, I'd like to apologize for Dr. Felder-Glauser. He's this split personality that shows up every now and then, just between you and me, is kind of a jerk. He won't be coming back, and so anyway, my mom finally convinced me to go see a shrink, and you know, I can't be telling all my deeper, innermost secrets to like somebody who's never met me before, and like, you know, I just can't do it. So to make it fun, I had to just kind of lie to the guy. He was like, so tell me, Vita, is there something you've been holding on to for the past few years that you'd like to just let go of, but you can't? Well, besides my penis, I've had this desire to just kind of herd all the sheep in New Zealand onto an ark and have them stay out at sea long enough to people forget how to make sweaters. But I've been fantasizing about it right now, and I feel terrible. I feel so bad about it. It's like, let's look at this rationing. Calm down. We have to. It's a perfectly natural reaction to an overly mechanized society to fantasize about holding onto your penis while driving sheep. So, little mental lapse here. Okay, so I'm just going to move right along and go to the next thing that I remember, which will be coming up shortly. Let's just enjoy this while we can. So that's it. It's nice. So basically, I don't trust psychiatrists, I don't trust doctors, and people I trust even less are police. And I just heard, this is a true story, something I just heard in the news today, on headline news. I don't know if it's actually already gone into policy, if it actually happens now, but that whole thing about needing a search warrant to break into somebody's place, apparently you don't need one anymore. You just, and this is true, I just saw this today, I'm not making this up. It's kind of frightening. It was kind of buried in the second half of the news, as if, like, it doesn't matter, oh, it's a necessary step for the crime epidemic. And I feel like, well, I mean, I'm more worried for the rest of society. I mean, people with something to hide, but me, I mean, cops will sit in my room right now, they'd find to be just a couple of playboys, some unpaid parking tickets, and some anarchist cookbooks, some anti-police literature, some basic revolutionary material. So I gotta go. This is just turning on, man. I just gotta go. I gotta clean my room. Here comes Kurt Mattila.
I was playing a Nirvana record backwards the other day, and I really started to enjoy success. But with success, the one thing I will not have is trying to get a job. Back when I was in high school, I worked at CBS, and I was fired because I refused to wear a tie in my pants, and my grandparents referred me to their nursing home, where I worked my way up to be recreations coordinator. And that didn't last too long, and my ideas for the Disco Inferno and full contact cheesy, quite frankly, left some of the residents a little shaken up the next morning. I myself can't wait to grow old and develop that eye in the back of my throat that sort of grows to compensate for my lack of nearsight. So we've seen old people do this when they want to look up things up close. They kind of like that, open their mouth up, just that. Oh yeah, shut his hair. This pro juice will clear up my derails in no time. Come on. I can't wait to grow old and tell my grandkids about life in the 90s, but I'm thinking there really isn't a hell of a lot to talk about except for like mosh pits and body piercing. But body piercing, where we are right now in society, we're pretty safe because we just pierce our eyes, nose, mouth, and genitalia. But I'm concerned that in 10 years' time, someone's going to come up with the body piercing to end all body piercing and impale themselves like a large javelin. Somebody walking around the next day, their friend's like, oh my God, when did you get that done? That looks great.
I got it done last night.
It is so you. That is so you. Does it hurt at all?
Only when I try and digest food. I seem to upper intestine.
Speaking of food, I will not go to Jeff's restaurant anymore because I just realized that their logo looks like Mayor McCheese with a bad case of gingivitis. Speaking of McDonald's, I did have this incredibly weird dream last night that I went to a McDonald's drive-up and like Marlon Brando was my waiter. I pulled up and he was like,
Welcome to McDonald's. Would you like to try an extra volume?
I said, no, I want a cheeseburger and a strawberry shake.
Would you like some fries with that?
No, if I wanted fries, I would have said so from the beginning. Please, people are starting to beep. I want a cheeseburger and a strawberry shake.
I'm making an offer you can't refuse. You go with your cheeseburger, but you got a Coke. For 29 cents more, you get a super size.
Listen, please, a cheeseburger and a Coke.
You're breaking my heart, but only $2.39 is like a window.
So apparently I offended the Ronald McDonald family because the next morning I woke up and Grimace's head was at the foot of my bed. No idea how I got there. Grimace had it rough in the McDonald land, but ladies and gentlemen, you know who had it rough was Lego Man. Here's a man who didn't have a nose. But worst of all, he had to walk around with a perpetual grin on his face, like he was happy he didn't have a nose. Like he'd be out with his friends and they'd be like, man, smell that cannoli. Oh, Lego Man, I'm totally sorry. Then he's out with his friends and they're having a good time, like, oh, well, I'm gonna put on my hat now. He'd kind of go off to the side and take his hair off, from the side, take his hat out of his backpack, put it back on again. And God forbid, if you want to take off his backpack, he'd have to decapitate himself, put his head down in an easily accessible place, take the backpack off. I know his friend's like, oh man, don't do that, please, man. It really freaks me out. So with these quirky idiosyncrasies, Lego Man grew up to be a manic depressive. And on weekends would get drunk, take off his hair, stick blocks to his head to try and pick up girls. Drinking is interesting. I myself don't drink. I have very low body weight, and I once had a teaspoon of NyQuil and got alcohol poisoning, had to get my stomach pumped. But I have been known to have a monthly Sam Adams beer, and I look at the label and it says, don't drink and drive, don't drink if you're pregnant, don't operate heavy machinery. But I think after years of social drinking, they really have to augment that first warning to do not attempt to speak or try and pick up members of the opposite sex if they are sober. Because if you notice, you've been to bars or parties, and one side of the room has been drinking, the other side hasn't. One brave drunk guy will kind of stagger his way across and go, "Woo." Should be over here with the friends. What? I'm sorry, I can't understand what you're saying. It's like beer goggles and beer hearing aids. My friends back home were aware of this, that I didn't drink. And if they were going to go to a party and they knew they'd be drinking, I'd have to come along as the designated translator. And, we'd get to the party and the host would offer me a beer. I'm like, no thanks, I'm talking tonight. He's like, good for you, man. Good for you. There's some RC Cola and some Fresca in the fridge, okay, man? So while my friends were getting really winky and jumping around and having a blast, I would watch TV. And I noticed there are a lot of commercials for the singles lines. I remember one particular one came on, and there was this guy who I think was in that more hair down the drain commercial. Anyway, he was explaining to the camera. He was explaining to the camera and to the telephone that he's sick of the singles life. He has trouble being with people. The only reason why he's here is because his parents tried to experiment to see if Silly Freddy would be an effective contraceptive. And I'm thinking to myself, it was like 1-900-loser-friendly or something as a number, or some mnemonic device. I'm thinking to myself, it'd be interesting if like the variations classified as from the adult erotica section of the Providence Phoenix advertised on TV. I could just imagine like a guy in a three-piece suit behind a desk going, with my busy schedule, it's difficult for me to meet people my own age that are into bondage, sodomy, anal ticklers, and farm animals. That's why I use the variation classified ads in the Providence Phoenix. With this, I can leave a voicemail message and yet listen to others at the same time while playing autoerotic satisfaction to myself. But apparently these single lines do work so much that people are getting inspired to get married at shopping malls. And a friend of mine attended one in the Emerald Square Mall up in North Attleboro, and it was really strange. Like the bride side was on the first floor and the groom side was on the second floor. They couldn't really get a real priest to do the thing, so they had to get the manager of Orange Julius to do the ceremony. I think it was like Father Dominic Niharitos or something like that. So everyone's gathered together. It was like, dearly beloved shoppers, we are gathered here today to unite these two mall rats in holy parsimony. Do you, Rocco Swift, take Candy BB to be your lawfully wedded pet? Rocco's like, I do. To have and to put on hold, especially when she calls you long distance. Yep. Through sickness and in health clubs. Yep. And do you, Candy BB, take Rocco Swift to be your lawfully wedded mustache bohunk? Yeah, I do. Do you promise to remain to be a faithful wife during Super Bowl season? And do you promise to keep your bangs above 3 inches? Through stiffness and hairspray? With the power invested in me through the corporation of Orange Julius, I pronounce you man and waif. And you may make out with the bride, and I bless you. In the name of the favor, and of the Sears, and of the Hallmark spirit, Armando. It was a very moving ceremony, and they had a reception up at the Taco Bell on the 3rd floor, and we all gathered around, and the best man was like, I remember when these two guys used to get dropped off by their parents. It was like ages ago, but oh well. And then after that, the honeymooners retired early to the bed and bath section of the Sears department and had a wonderful night. So my friend and I decided to leave. It was really getting late, and we walked out to the parking lot and total blank. We had no idea where we parked the car. We were lost. And I was getting antsy, and my friend was getting a little nervous because we were in a bad part of the parking lot, and it was very dark. And we're looking around, and finally I said, look, I'm just going to ask directions. The next motorist that passed by, I'm just going to stop and went, excuse me, sir, I can't find my car. I'm not from around here. Could you give me directions? He was like, well, you want to stay on this road till you hit Marshall's. Take a left at Tom McCann, 3rd car from the right. Thank you very much. And so anyway, having said that, that's right in order. Just like that. I had this uncle who's incredibly cheap. Just last Easter, he sent me a box of candies that had little pumpkins and witches on them. And although he's very cheap, I have to give him credit. He has found a way to cut the high price of living. He lives in a parking spot on Benefit Street. And his theory is that once you put that coin to that meter, there's no law that says you can't park your belongings rather than a car there. And this is, for the most part, works out, except when it comes for family dinners, he has to run home like every hour to pay his rent. It's just really a pain. Yeah, he's going again. Another wedding I had to go to, which was, I really wasn't looking forward to going because it was at one of those wacky Catholic interactive weddings. And so when I got there, I asked the head usher for a pew and not singing. And we're sitting there for a while. And Catholic churches, I think to get past building inspection, have to be at least 50 degrees below room temperature. So I'm sitting there kind of cold because as usual the wedding's delayed and like counting groin barrel balls to pass the time. And people are coming and trying to bless themselves with the holy water is frozen over and really embarrassed. And there's another delay once the wedding does finally start because the guy next to me gets all bent out of shape. They wouldn't take credit card during collection. So finally the ceremony goes over. And afterwards I went up to the priest and I said, Father, can I see in your office for a minute? So we're sitting in the confession booth and I said, you know, you really got to do something about this dead time that happens before weddings. I said, I'm really getting antsy. I think you should treat weddings more like a concert and have like an opening marriage rather than an opening act. You know, like a new couple that no one's really heard of, just starting out. So be like, you know, Pat and Nancy are getting married. Yeah, who's opening for them? Oh, Pete and Judy. Yeah, they're just starting out. They're really popular in Nebraska right now. They're on their way. Anyway, I had this photography class, and they were giving lockers to store photochemical units in. And after class, everyone was going to their lockers, and I got this incredible middle school, high school flashback. Because back then, those numbered, shiny closets in the hallway reflected who you were from the way you decorated, if you kept it neat. Your locker back then was a meeting place, and your friends would get together. Maybe we can like do something in 2 minutes before next period. That'd be really cool. You got your mail. Your friends would stick little notes in there. And when you met your significant other, you went in and moved together and shared an apartment locker thing. And I remember when I was back in 8th grade, I was seeing this girl, Heather. I guess you're really big to see somebody. And we got along really well. Her friends like my friends. We did the note thing. If you like me, check one, yes, no. But at this point, so we made the next logical step, and that was to move in together and share my locker. And I realized at this point in my life that my life was like a pathetic soap opera. I remember I showed up for school one morning, and I was late, and Heather was there waiting for me. She's like, "Where were you before homeroom this morning?" And I didn't quite hit puberty, so I responded, "Oh, I don't know, my mom showed me school, I was really late. My friend saw you by Michelle Lenihan's locker. What were you doing over there? I've been wanting to put books there. I come there everywhere I went to school. Are you sharing a locker with her? No, don't lie to me. I'm sorry. Kurt Mattila, ever since we moved in together, you've been keeping your side of the locker a mist. You throw your books in, the covers are always falling off, your coat is never staying off the hook, falling off and getting stuck, and I'm trying to shut the door. It's not my fault, I got this thing, man. I'm leaving you, Kurt Mattila. What? I'm leaving you, I'm moving out. What? I'm moving out and I'm taking the mirror and that Bon Jovi sticker I gave you with me. Baby, where are you gonna go? All your classes are on this side of the school. I don't know, maybe I'll stay at least until I find a locker of my own. I know where I'm going. You'll be back. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
So it says, so I'm not crazy to have this fascination with sheep. I'm not crazy. This is great, Doc. This is great. You know, there's something I've wanted to tell you for a long time. I got the house for your wife big time. And it's okay, though. I'm not crazy to have this feeling. I mean, she's very attractive. You're just trying to get me angry, so I'll tell you that you're crazy, aren't you? But, yeah, so you can't trust them. And the main thing that I don't like about them is that they give you this look, this smile, this thing that says, you know, just like you would look at your guinea pig or something. It just kind of says, yes, you can keep talking. You can talk all you want. Everything you're saying to me, I'm analyzing. And someday, yes, I'll be able to prescribe you drugs. So, yeah, I'm kind of paranoid about that. But, okay, here comes the wrong hero. It's Francis DiMenno.
Sorry, I'm late. Goo. Trying to appeal to a younger audience. I brought my sidekick. Like most superheroes, I have a sidekick. Unlike most, I carry mine in a little bag that I got at the Goodwill. It's Punxsutawney Phil, or, as I like to affectionately refer to him, stupid-ass beaver with an Amish Pennsylvania. I am not trying to hypnotize you into becoming my Earth slaves. I am not trying to hypnotize. Thank you. This is my comeback tour. Actually, I was never really very famous to begin with, except for that time I appeared on the Lawrence Welk Show, performing my hit, Homosexual Truck Driving Man. Nor have I really ever gone away, except for that 13 years I spent in the sensory deprivation chamber. But let's not dwell upon the mistakes I've made in the past. Let's dwell instead upon the mistakes I intend to make in the future. Like continuing this show. Some of you might recognize me. I invented a car that runs on blood sugar. Of course, you might not recognize me. I lost 300 pounds on the drive from Albany.
It's a good thing I picked up that hitchhiker. Hey, I'm not a bad guy. I didn't make him pay the tolls. Taxes. Here's a riddle. What's the difference between the IRS and a pack of wolves? Wolves devour their prey while it's still alive, and the IRS waits until April 15th. Record snowfall this year, huh? Except for one thing. Forgive me if I shout.
What about the Ice Age, huh? The Ice Age! Record snowfall, what about the Ice Age?
I guess that didn't really count since there were only dinosaurs and stuff. I'd like to be an Internal Revenue Service collector down south. Because, you know, you can't really tell Southerners anything. You ever tried to? It's like, mister, your head's on fire.
Don't tell me my business! What do?
When Southerners get angry at you, they all talk like they're taking a crap. It's like,
What you doing around here? What? What you doing around here?
you know, running through the processor backwards. Comes out about the same. A moment of silence for presidential candidate Colosio. Now they're talking about there's a big conspiracy theory to assassinate the leader of the institutional, Mexico's ruling party for the last 70 years. But one thing you have to consider is 90% of conspiracy theorists are unemployed. They can't get a job if they can tell you who killed Kennedy. And you can see them filling out a job form. Hobbies? Proving that Oswald was a patsy. So we just wonder about that sometimes. I guess we're going to invade Serbia. I just hope we don't send any helicopters over there. I'd like to sing a song in honor of our intervention in Bosnia-Herzegovina. If you shell my suburbs, I will bomb your suburbs to serve with love, with love. Do, 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 do. Next, the Carpenters in their psychedelic phase.
Hey, a prize party, Phil! I was in a movie with... Don't worry!
I had a job writing children's books, but I got fired for my masterpiece. It was my masterpiece. I am an artist not bound by common, ordinary, everyday constraints of mere commerce. In fact, the more unsuccessful I am in the romantic mode, the greater I'll be. Or so I think. Anyway, I wrote this book, they rejected it. It was called Winnie the Shit. I'm sorry I used that word, winning. I think shit is an ugly word. I think they should refer to it by a more dignified name, like brown monuments to a healthy appetite. When brown monuments to a healthy appetite take your toilet bowl, it's just one thing you can do. 2001 flushes. Down, 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 down. 2001 flushes in the monolith size and the economy size. I don't know if you folks know about this. Floaters. You know what floaters are? They're little bits of defecatory matter which remain in the bowl after you're finished. It's a very embarrassing topic. Oh, but I do want to mention, you know what really makes my day is when I'm going to the bathroom and I flush the toilet and it's swirling down the bowl and I got this toilet paper in my hand and I wipe off the bathroom sink and I throw it in there and it makes the last swirl. It's like, all right! But floaters are a problem. Like, you know, you're at the Astor Mansion, Jakob Astor up in Newport, and you use their toilet and it won't go down. They're cheap, they have a brick in the tank, and the toilet doesn't flush properly, there's just a little bit left. And it's like, oh my God, what are they gonna think? I'll never get into the 500 now. So they think you're a junkie. You're in there for 15 minutes. Come on, damn it! And all along they have it planted in the bowl to test your social composure. Yeah. Pulling a cruel prank on you. I had a stomach virus. Actually, it was a hamburger that I had left out on the counter for 5 hours and then cooked. But I like to refer to it as a polite euphemism of stomach virus. It was like, the house was like Bo Powell there, you know? The rats were fleeing down the street. What's that, the Pied Piper? No, some guy's got a stomach virus, you know? So I don't know. Relationships. I believe that inside of every thin woman, there's a fat man struggling to get out. Usually me. Usually. I went to my high school reunion, and I decided to go and see where I had carved my initials oh so many years ago. But the gym coach was wearing a toupee, so it didn't work. My fiance is an existentialist, so I gave her a disengagement ring. All my friends are having children now. Where does that leave me? I don't have any children. Like they got those baby on board stickers. I got one that says, I have no children and my life is meaningless, so go ahead and run me off the fucking ground! So all my friends are having children. They're talking about how cute the kid is, how smart the kid is. What do I have to brag about? I left some ejaculate into a handkerchief last night. And it smelled like a petunia. Want a sniff? Brought it along. I think masturbation is just the poor man's Nintendo. And while we're on this tasteful subject, for which you will all go to hell if you're practicing Catholics just for listening to, just for being in the same vicinity of, what's this with the genie and the lamp? Isn't that kind of kinky? You rub this lamp, and it's sort of kind of, you know, distasteful. I mean, it's like, the genie finally comes out. You know, your wish is my command. I've already come 3 times. I don't need anything now. Make yourself into a pizza, you know? I invented a Bible for children. It's called the Bib. The Old Testament is just one word. No! And the New Testament is also one word. Because! I invented a religion for dogs. It's called Heel. And the Old Testament is one word. Sit! In the New Testament, 2 words. Good dog. And the Apocrypha is roll over. Or is it stay? I don't know. No. What sound does a beaver make anyway? Meow. Or is that Papa? I don't think they mix them up. Every time my dog sees me, it goes like this. That's because he knows I'm fixing to put a bouillon cube in the toilet bowl. Just for him. Will it be chicken or beef or,
What a rib, man. Vegetable. Bleh.
you can learn a lot from a dog. I know this, my dog is my best friend. All of my best friends kill chickens. All of my best friends vomit kibbles and bits onto the linoleum when the grandparents come to visit. And most of all of my best friends beg for treats with their genitalia exposed. When I die, I want my dog to bury me. I mean, he spends half his time digging in the backyard anyway. Why pay the funeral home, you know? Also because I wouldn't want him to think I deserted him. Or maybe I'll be cremated and have my remains put into a car ashtray and discreetly dumped in a deserted corner of the shopping lot parking lot. I think that would be a lot more mellow than hurling my
Flaming remains out the car window at 85 miles an hour.
wouldn't it? One thing I don't get is the Saturn car. Who were the marketing geniuses who decided to call it the Saturn? What should we call our new car? We call it Mars? No, the Cold War's over. We call it Venus? No, we wanted to appeal to a broad base of consumers and not simply those who are inclined to view a car as a sexual object. I know. We'll call it Saturn. Saturn, the Greek figure in mythology, or the Greek mythological figure, who devours his own children.
Saturn! Great name for a car!
Hey, Dad, you gonna give me the keys? Sure, son, go wild.
All right.
Is there a cat in here? You know, my apartment smells like cat piss, and the hell of it is, I don't own a cat. What do you do about that? I'd like to know.
I can't go on.
No, sorry. I have an attention deficit disorder. What was I saying? I was driving down the road. What's that, NyQuil? You know, here's a handy hint for all of you to remember. A heckler is a black hole who sucks the light out of other stars. You know, you're doing a bit, and all of a sudden, So, keep that in mind. I was driving down the road. I was doing 80 miles an hour. Cop pulls me over. Standard setup. You've heard it a million times before. On television, on the radio, on comedy records, your pals, whatnot. But here's what happened. Cop pulls me over. I decide to play a game with him. It's called Nice Victim, Mean Victim. And we'll let our little friend stand for the policeman here.
You were doing 75 miles an hour. Why is that?
Top of the morning to the officer.
Sure, what's a police captain like you doing a pound in the beat?
Can I see your license and registration? Oh, sure. And I'll tell you why I was speeding, too. It's because I was pretending the accelerator was a policeman's head. Because I was sucking on a cube of LSD. And I wanted to get home before I melted. Officer Coffee and Donuts sitting and picking your ass and fucking 12 in the morning! Sir? And he said, let it go this time. Take it slow, though. Okay? I'm against teenage drug users. Any of them here? Sure. Yeah, come on.
God, I wish I was.
God, I wish I was. I think teenage drug users should grow up and take their medicine just like the rest of us. Okay. Gotta be careful about people on drugs. People on drugs notice everything. They really do. A nice word. It glitters marshmallow. You know what I like to do? I like to pretend to be a soldier so I can smoke in hospitals. Listen, buddy, you're wearing that oak leaf cluster, you can be smoking crack in the operating room, and they won't say anything to you. All right? So he's a soldier, it's okay, you know. Chubby Checker. Oh, come on, baby. Let's do that twist. You guys got Bon Jovi, I got Chubby Checker, okay? And funny thing about Chubby Checker, it seems as though the wife of the record company executive came up with the name Chubby Checker after seeing that cute Fats Domino. What shall we call our new singing act? Chubby Checker. Now, if she had gone to college, maybe she would have come up with something a little more erudite, like obese chest, or arteriosclerotic backgammon, or oleaginous bingo.
Hi, this is Stacey Jason, and now our number one hit for the next 15 years is Oleaginous Bingo.
You see him having a fit over that. I'm working on a line of ethnic restaurants named after the ethnic trait of the ethnic group whose food is being served there. Any suggestions? Sinatra? Hey, you gonna fucking eat or what, huh? Keep moving? Is that what you said?
I said Ethiopian.
Oh, Ethiopian. It's like, that's not very tasteful. I refuse to do material like that, because I'm an artist. I am a supreme intellect. Ethiopian, you say, huh? No, I can't think. There is Ethiopian restaurants. I mean, you know, and what are they called? It's like, I don't know, Middle Africa or something. Huh? Dirt? Rocks? Ooh. I couldn't win with that one, you know? No matter what I said. So, I'm not going to do it. I just ain't going to do it. Instead, Cuban. It's like, you have insulted the bearded one. Now we will take all your money. Yeah. This episode of The Wrong Hero has been brought to you by The Penis. Strong enough for a man, but made for a woman. But men like it too. And by anti-ivory soap. It's black, it stinks like shit, it's just a big pile of dung basically, but it's really good for your skin. And by Disney World. What does MICKEYMOUSE really stand for? I'll tell you. MIC, Military Industrial Complex. KEY, Keynesian Economic Yoke. MOUSE, more of the United States engulfment. K. I'd like to conclude with the national anthem. You know, Francis Scott Key was a one-hit wonder. I got the national anthem. What am I to make? Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early night light? What was this guy? Did he study was he German or something? Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night? You can't say this all in once. It's all one sentence, you know? So I thought maybe we should update it with a more congenial musical genre. Do we have any suggestions?
Sinatra!
Oh, say. The blues.
I was born for bad luck in a little shotgun shack, and trouble's all I know. I got up at the break of morn, flag tattered and torn. Lord, how I hate to hear that rooster crow.
Any others?
Gregorian chants.
Shoot the flag.
Okay. Or hardcore.
Look at that flag. It's a big stinking rag. Look at that flag. I hate to brag, but that's our flag.
Oh, look at that flag. It's waving in the morning. It's waving in the evening. All over this land.
Do your best Kurt Cobain impersonation.
Okay.
How about something special and different?
Oh. We were going to burn some poison ivy or perhaps torture a Shetland pony after the show, but I don't think that would be special enough for you, mister.
The theme of Leave It to Beaver.
Wait a minute. I'm being overwhelmed, okay? Did someone say Kurt Cobain? Okay.
Spangled banner made of cheesecloth on the flagpole. Gets my rocks off.
Now shoot yourself.
No, instead I would like to share with you my love for you by eviscerating this beaver. Very well. The beaver can live. For now. I'm the wrong hero. Good night.
Okay, everybody, splash some water on your face, grab some food, and take a little 5-minute break. I gotta make a call. 5-minute break. More. Halfway. I got the VCR. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Why aren't you sitting there watching TV when you could be out there starting a career? The night is long, but the mood is mellow. Nowhere to go, not much to do. Gonna sit right back on the couch and fluff up the pillow. I'm gonna watch me a show or two. You don't have cable, you're missing out. Tonight on Showtime, it's Cop and a Half starring Burt Reynolds and some little midget black kid, much like the Different Strokes or Webster Bracket. And on Bravo, it's something really long and really British. It's a chick movie. It's very sensitive. People are wearing petticoats, and sex was just as much of an ordeal as it is today. And on TBS. It's Ted Turner's continuing Wasn't the South a Better Place when we still had slaves? Marathon, featuring Gone with the Wind and Song of the South. So why just turn on your TV, get hooked on cable, and let your TV turn you on. It's TV, you just gotta see. Have you ever ran a red light on a desolate country road, and 2 months later, you get thrown in jail? They don't even tell you what you're charged of. You will, and AT&T will bring it to you. Bigfoot! I've tried crash diets, street fruit diets. I've tried standing on my head and humming a theme from Bonanza for a week diets. Nothing's worked for me until I tried suicide. That's right, Susan, the new suicide diet plan. Guaranteed weight loss results within hours after usage. Offer void if suicide attempt fails. Hey. Are you aged 50 to 80? Have you just had a lobotomy? If so, these commercials are for you. Look at me, enjoying corn on the cob. Some people call them age spots. I call them ugly. But what's a woman to do? Try pearl cream, made from real pearls. Okay, now back to our feature starring Dan Brennan as Gary Coleman in On the Right Track. Hello? Okay. Hello? Oh, good. There's still people out here. Okay, great. I was calling my mother the other night, and as I was talking to her, I was telling her about all the things that are going on here and all the things that I'm doing here tonight. And she's like, why do you constantly make fun of me? Well, because you're psychotic. Your parents ever tell you stupid shit? Like you're driving in the car, and me, I had 2 brothers, so we always had to fight over who got the hump in the back seat. Like it was always my little brother who got the hump, and he's like, I don't want the hump, man. I want the side, I want the window. Where's the hump? I want the hump. It's like, get on the hump. It's like, and you end up fighting about it, and your father's in the front seat and going, hey, don't make me come back there. Dude, we're doing like 85 on the Garden State Parkway. You're really gonna come back here? I don't fucking think so. And then your mother's like, he'll do it, I've seen him, he'll make you grab the wheel. He's done it. This is a good one. My mother always told me, and I got this at school, was only stick your elbow in your ear. Did anyone else ever get that? When you're little, it's like, because you can't physically do it, and then once you do it, everyone's like, once you tell them, it's like, don't stick your elbow in your ear. All like little 5 and 8-year-olds are sitting there going, I can't get it in there. So like you go and you stick it in other people's ears, because it's supposed to go there. You get on a bus or something, you'd be like, hey man, what you doing? Oh, don't worry, it's supposed to go there. Oh, okay. And you sit around and put your elbows in each other's ears. One of the crazy things my mother always did was remember when Skylab fell? Does anyone here remember when Skylab fell, that orbiting kind of space station? Well, when Skylab fell, my mother's like, you're never leaving the house. You're not leaving the house today, Skylab is falling. I'm like, an orbiting mass of cosmic debris is going to squash me as I'm playing kickball, is that what you're telling me? She's like, you're staying inside. Why? What the hell is the house gonna do? It's fucking Skylab we're talking about. Alright, enough with the parents, that ain't working. Are all of you good and drunk yet? Do you have anyone who's good and drunk? Good. So would I. We don't have any, there's like 30 million Rolling Rocks floating around here and no one's drunk. Drinking's a fun little ritual. Drinking is like something that I would never conceive doing with my parents. I don't know why, it just seems evil. It's like, I went home for Christmas break and my mother's like, so Dan, would you like a beer? I'm like, uh-oh, this has gotta be a test. They want to see if I'm drinking. Do I accept the beverage and have a good time? Or do I tell them, no, I do not imbibe in such frivolous things. I study constantly. I work hard. I do not drink such things. So I took the beer. And I just couldn't do it. I had one, and I was sipping it, because you never want to admit to your parents that you can pound a keg at a moment's notice. You're just like, oh, too much. When really you get out of there and you start shotgunning shit, and breaking out the funnel. You know you drink too much when you have your own funnel, and you bring it with you. And drinking at parties is kind of fun, because like, the keg is the center of the party. It's like the nucleus of the party. And in all the other rooms are like little electrons, and you walk in. And you could walk in and see your friend missing both his legs. You know, bloody stumps. You'd be like, hey, where's the keg? You wouldn't even stop and ask, like, how the hell did that happen? You just go, hey, where's the keg? And just like, another major injuries I've heard about. Did anyone read in the Phoenix that there was this guy who apparently on his off hours, on breaks, would masturbate against the canvas belt drive of a heavy machine. Personally, this seems like a dangerous thing. I don't tend to let any moving parts near my dick. I have a problem with that. It's like you're in a date or something, and suddenly she breaks out the belt sander, and I'm gone. Keep that the fuck away from me. But this guy on his breaks would masturbate like this, and apparently one day he was doing it, had heard something, lost his concentration, and it grabbed him forcefully and threw him across the room, and he lost a testicle. I guess there was a nut loose in the machine or something. Thank you. Yeah, bad pun number one. Anyway, this guy gets thrown across the room and decides that, well, this is really embarrassing. I have to go to work, so I'll fix myself with 7 industrial-grade staples from a staple gun. It's like, I don't know like the last time I ever saw that in a first aid kit. Band-aids, gauze bandages, triangle bandage. Stanley, staple gun, come on. No, I don't think so. That guy must have been completely drunk. I was playing some drinking games the other night. And drinking games are fun. They're like totally designed to get you fucked up. But you think that you could beat them. It's like, okay, what I want you to do is shove these olives up your nose, shoot them out of the champagne glasses while reciting the entire story from the HMS Pinafore before you drink. Okay? And you're just like, okay, and you end up losing, getting completely drunk. I was playing one the other day where you had to quote literature. Before you drank at any time during the game, you had to quote literature. And in the beginning of the game, we're all quoting Shakespeare. We're all like, man delights me not, nor woman neither, but judging by your smile, you seem to say so. And at the end of the night, after about 2 or 3 cases, we all start quoting porn films. It's like, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me. And you just take it, because you really can't remember whatever the hell it is you're doing. Drinking in bars is a little difficult, though. Drinking in bars is difficult because all the drinks have these stupid-ass names. I mean, there are some cool names like Boilermaker. Give me a Boilermaker. Because it sounds just like a mean-ass drink. Something that holds together eating. That's an appliance. I can drink that. Instead, it's just like, can I have an orgasm? What? Can I have an orgasm? It's like, what the hell? Or sex on the beach. Who the hell wants to ask me? I don't know one guy who will ask for sex on the beach at a moment's notice. Like at a bar, like, excuse me, can I have sex on the beach? What? Sex on the beach? Oh, you want sex on the beach? And everyone turns around the bar and looks and laughs at you. And they should really, like, name drinks for what they do to you. It's like, can I have hitting on the person directly to my left? Can I get one of those? My friend will have walking home in a drunken stupor and urinating on a neighbor's cat. Okay, how about that? Or this, like, Zima shit. Has anyone drank this shit? Tastes like flat Sprite. It's like confusing your taste buds. It's like, hello, I'm soda. No, I'm not. It's like that darker side of the beverage. It's like, ooh, I could drink this all day. Yeah, something different, something disgusting. All right. Great. Obviously, Peter has cable TV. Peter, and for those with cable TV, have you ever seen The Beer Hunter? All right, there's a guy, and it is his job to go travel around Europe, drink beer, and tell us about it. This is a job I want. I want to be the beer hunter. Like, today we're at Murphy's Inn, and I will be sampling their own home ale, and getting completely pissed drunk and babbling to you on cable TV. And they pay me to do this. That is the perfect job. I don't know what the hell, like, most of us are doing in college, studying to do things. Just all go out and get drunk in Europe and hold a camcorder. I'm somewhere yours. It's, I can't read it. But yes. Thank you for taking pity on me. Okay, yeah. Gee. Yeah. You ever notice that when you stop, like, talking about something, a lot of people will just sit there and go, yeah, you know? And it's like, people can hold entire conversations like that. Yeah, I know. Cool. Like, I think it would be interesting, instead of just saying, we all just said, fuck. Like, you could be at, like, some kind of presentation or something, have no idea what you're saying, and you're just sitting there going, fuck, 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 fuck. You know? Fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. You know? Yeah, okay, cool. You know what I mean? You know, what are our profit outshares, whatever, for the next fiscal season? Fuck, 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 fuck. More than usual? Fuck, fuck, fuck. I think people get a lot more laid back. And the only reason I say that is because I come from New Jersey. Do we have anyone from New Jersey here? No. Yay, New Jersey! You ever notice that, like, some part of, like, the really native New Jersey, like the people that were discussed earlier with the 3-inch bangs coming off their head? Like, have you ever seen those girls' boyfriends? The guys are like, and you get around here in Providence, I saw them, like, talking about me the other day. It's like, yeah, I like a fucking combo burrito, and you want to put some cheese on that shit? Oh, just put some fucking cheese on that, okay? You bitches want anything? That's a term of affection, I think. That's just like, that's a good one. And they go, no. It's like, okay, so just a fucking combo burrito. And everything. You get into a shouting match with these people, like, you're gonna start a fight. It's like, you fucking want to go? You fucking want to go? Tell you what, I'm gonna fucking hit you over the head with him. How would you fucking like that, huh? How would you fucking like that, Mr. fucking funny guy? And suddenly, like, fuck becomes not just punctuation, but a filler between words. I'm going to teach you all how to curse with a perfect Irish accent. Okay, what I want you to do is repeat, I'm going to say 4 words, and then I want you to repeat them loudly together pretty fast. The first word is whale, as in the mammal, whale. Second word is oil. Third word is beef. And the fourth word is hooked. Now, on the count of 3, we're all going to say it together. I'm going to say it too on the mic, just in case none of you say anything. I'll say it. And I want you to say it together really fast. 1, 2, 3. Whale, oil, beef, hooked. That's right. Whale, oil, beef, hooked. And you've just cursed in perfect Irish. Does Lucky Charms guy scare the shit out of anyone else? I mean, he's just a frightening little creature, especially since I've seen, like, Leprechaun. You ever see that movie, Leprechaun, and then Leprechaun Part 2? Watching Leprechaun is like going through a series of Lucky Charms commercials on acid. It's just like, green clovers, blue diamonds, and I'll pan your immortal soul. I saw something the other day that's kind of funny. It was like a cereal box character, phone sex. That's just like the Lucky Charms guy. It's like, well, thank you for calling the Lucky Charms phone sex. I'm wearing green. All green. Is it turning you on? No. Well, would you want to come over and wax my shillelagh? Yeah, for those of you that don't know, a shillelagh is a large walking stick. And then he'll tell you his like sex stories. It's like true confessions from the Lucky Charms guy. Well, I had her up in the hayloft, and she was quailing like a banshee. It's like, great, you can just like hang out. You ever notice the only thing on late night if you don't have cable in Providence is dog racing? Like like Linkin Park owns the network after 1 a.m. Suddenly every channel you turn to, and you just start to get into it. You sit there and you watch and you're like, come on, lucky day, come on, lucky day, come on, lucky day, damn. And you start betting with your friends over the dogs. And it's like, and for me, you know, since I do that every night, because, you know, I have no life, I start like watching the day before, because I usually play the same races. So I like rake in all the cash from my friends. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get parked on some dogs. It's either the dogs or the infomercials. The one thing I have to say with the infomercials, can we all stop the insanity, please? Just stop the infomercial insanity. Have you all seen, what the hell is his name?
Jack LaLanne.
No. Target Training, the guy from Target Training. You ever seen these Target Training videos? Like, the guy's like, I have high metabolism. You want to have high metabolism? I have high metabolism. I have high energy. I have energy all the time. It's like, dude, take a Valium. Relax. You're tense. It's like, now what I do, and what no one else does, is I get you to lose weight. Look, see the chart. You're losing weight. And then this graphic of this thin person getting big, and then getting small. Like suddenly they just took them up to this like cartoon helium. It's like, you get the amazing discoveries, people. All right, I want to tell you all one thing right now, okay? And for those few RISD students that are left, all right, I study product design, okay? And if anything that I ever make ends up on Amazing Discoveries, I'm gonna put a bullet in my head. Because it's like, well, what it does is it holds grocery bags together. See? You put the strap around and it holds your groceries. That's why we have arms, okay? What else about Lincoln? Or you get those phone sex things. You know, it's like 976. It's got like 2 T's. It's like a mattress commercial. Leave the last S on for savings. I don't know what the T would stand for. Make up your own joke in regards to that. And you notice sometimes that they have actresses on those that go from commercial to commercial to commercial. It's like, well, there we go. Wow, I like that a little bit better. Just non-stop for hours, commercials and commercials and commercials. It's kind of interesting, but I guess not that interesting. Thank you, Dolly, for smiling. That's right, it's during the show when I point out one member of the audience and embarrass them more than I'm being embarrassed right now. Let's see, health food. All right, now I'm going to say this right now. Tofu frightens me. It's like, you ever see these, like, you probably have, these tofu chunks, like these little squares that have really no discernible, like, texture to them, they're just squares. It's like, personally, I think nothing in the world should ever be curded. Beans aside, nothing should be curded. And as far as mineral water is concerned, clue kids, all water has minerals, okay? All water. Just Evian has got its own little flavor. You ever notice that Evian spelled backwards is naive? It's true. And you're all gonna go look it up, just like the elbow in the ear kids. Like, yeah, that's right. Personally, I'm like the Hostess kid. I'm the poster boy for Hostess. I love Hostess in all its forms. And people come up to me like, yo man, how can you eat that shit? I'm like, well, I take it out of the wrapper, and I put it in my mouth. And when I chew and swallow, it digests itself. That's how I eat these things. Basically, I only eat Hostess and Twinkies so that the coroner has less to do when I die. Because there are enough preservatives in Twinkies that they cook themselves. So there should be enough preservatives that I actually embalm myself while I'm alive. So on the last Twinkie, it'll be like, ugh, and that'll be it. And then the coroner will zip me open and be, yellow sponge cake. For some reason, my grandparents, when they were old and dying, only ate Twinkies too. I guess it was for the same reason. They'd have those short-lived fruit and grain Twinkies. You remember those? They were like wannabe zingers. They had like a little layer of fruit in the middle, Because we all know that like the filling is the only thing that ever tastes good in a Twinkie. The outside cake eaten alone is a little disgusting. It's a little dry. But you need that filling lubrication just to get the whole mouth thing going. Like, yeah, filling, all right. It's like, the one thing I noticed when I was growing up and during the reign of C. Everett Koop. Remember C. Everett Koop, Surgeon General? During the reign of C. Everett Koop, all the Hostess characters disappeared. You couldn't find them anymore. I remember when I was growing up, it was like Fruit Pie the Magician, and Captain Cupcake, and Twinkie the Kid, characters I could identify with. They were snack food. I ate snack food. They had, profitable careers. I wanted a profitable career. But then when C. Everett Koop came, they all disappeared. Nobody came back. Twinkie the Kid made a miraculous comeback. Like, back from the edge of nowhere comes riding Twinkie the Kid. God, I love that. I love the things that you used to grow up on that formed your life. And now kids' life. Now kids, there's a big ban on toy guns now because they're too realistic. I don't know, when I was little, playing Army or whatever, I didn't want to carry around a neon green super soaker. There was just something not right about it. It's like, I got you, Zap. What the hell is that? Super soaker? Here, I've got my, you had your like toy 9mm that was like the right weight and shape and it was perfect. Look at that, that's a gun. Put that sissy thing down. Go grab a stick or something, it's more useful. And now they're all like neon green and they talk to you. What is this teaching kids? If your guns are talking to you, you don't need one. And so I saw this one gun in KB Toy Store. That what it did was when you pulled the trigger, it would go. Sorry, I didn't know it would do that. Stop, police. And they blow off 12 shots and they tell you to stop. What the hell is that all about? Oh, great. What are they going to come out with next? Like a billy club where it goes, hey, you from RISD? Yeah, all the RISD people got that. Well, half of them. Thank you. Well, that's it. I'm out of here for the evening, so, have a good night. And there's some more time. Okay, so it's been a long night, I know, but I got great news for myself. I just called the lottery hotline and $50 million Powerball lottery. I just won it. Thank you very much, Kane. And I just got something to say to everybody who came tonight. Fuck off, I'm rich and you're not. Thanks. And let's see, I think I'll drop out of school and once I go to graduation, screw it, I'm not giving them any money in the alumni because RISD sucks. And you can tell the president to just kiss my ass. And thirdly, the guy who runs this place, what's his name, Bert? Man, he's got something. Hold on, I got a bad feeling, I think. Let me just recheck that. I only checked it once real quick. Let me see here. Yeah, it looks like I didn't win, actually. Well, I don't know how to get out of this one, so I'll just introduce Angus. Angus is funny. Angus is coming on. Angus is coming on right now.
Standeth he with the Spider-Man butt covers.
Thank you. This will be like a tetanus shot. You think it'll hurt? It'll be real quick. You'll never feel it. I think it's fun. I'm kind of amazed that Nerf hasn't come out with bike helmets yet. And when I was a young kid, growing up with Nerf, I always liked Crayola crayons in the 64 pack, because you get that built-in sharpener. But what they don't tell you is A, you'll have to ruin your crayon because you have to peel the paper, and B, it'll never be like the real one. It'll never have that little cup at the end. It'll just this amorphous, sort of sharpened shape. And everything's got a board, everything's got a council. The National Egg Board, the Incredible Edible Egg, the Cheese Board, the Beef Board. How about the Safe Sex Board, huh? Safe sex, it does a body good. Safe sex makes you feel so good. Safe sex, it's not just for breakfast anymore. I'm not a doctor. Don't even play one on TV. You know, when I was a kid, also, aside from crayons in school, I liked the Elmer's glue. You know, you take Elmer's glue and you put it all over your hand and you watch it just stay there. You peel it off like skin. And you put it in your desk, you think you're cool, because after lunch you peel it off. You take your whiteout, you go, well, hey, whiteout liquid paper doesn't come in 3-hole punch, but I like it anyway. You can spread it all over. You know, how many people, when they were kids, they took the whiteout container and coated it with whiteout. So you just had this whiteout coat thing. So, you know, I'm in Providence now, I'm doing a RISD thing, you know, and we have art history. In the art history book, the arcade is actually in the architecture section. Now the arcade, or the retail graveyard, as I like to call it, the arcade is like this. There's no video games, and it's called an arcade. Okay. So, you go in there and you get your McDonald's, like, yes, I'll have a hamburger. I'm sorry, we have a McPizza. We have a McHotdog. We don't have a McHamburger. You can't even get McFries. You get, you know, they still have styrofoam, you know. They have chocolatey chip cookies. Because they're not really chocolate chips, they're chocolatey chips. They have orange drink. Not orange juice, orange drink. You know, someone mentioned, I think it was Seth, mentioned Wile E. Coyote. Can you imagine this Acme bill? I mean, really, who's paying for that, huh? You know, how many pairs of jet-powered roller skates did he go through last month? He's chasing after one meal. What does he eat besides eating that one? It's like he's paying for stuff that he hasn't even, you know, thought about. So I'm wondering, you know, who's paying for it? My theory, and I'm not going to tell Oliver Stone this, but my theory is that he is getting paid by the government to be, you know, chase this roadrunner. It's like, Mr. President, for the last 4 years, is it true that you have been funding Wile E. Coyote and his hijinks with the Acme Company? Well, I forget. So, yeah, you know, and who pays his doctor bills, and who pays for his lift tickets when he comes back up from a cliff? Now, how does he get back up, you know? He always has those signs like, yike, you know, who paints those, you know? I mean, I've had furred animals, they don't have pockets unless they're a kangaroo. You know, oh, yike, oh, I'm going off the cliff now. Like, he's gonna take time to take out a sign. It's like, look for a parachute, look for a parachute. You know, I was thinking, what would be nice if Star Wars were reality and we all had lightsabers instead of guns? Be like, there's a lightsaber lobby, and there's an election coming up. Maybe we can get that Brady bill passed. And we have the NLA, the National Lightsaber Association. Lightsabers don't kill people, I do. You know, last night at 5 a.m. there was a drive-by lighting. And as a safety precaution, when you're walking down the hall, would you please keep your nozzle pointed down and walk slowly? You know, I don't know how many people of my age, 19, 20, are still left, but a big thing for us was the Super Friends on Saturday morning cartoons. Now, Super Friends, everyone likes Super Friends? Yes, the Super Friends. Okay, so you got your Super Friends, huh? The Aquaman with the, you know, funky, whatever, fish thing, tights, and, you know, you got Superman and Batman. What's up with the Wonder Twins, huh? Oh yeah, here's a great idea for Wonder Twins. We'll give them Wonder Twin powers activated, and they get, I'll be a pail of water. I'll be a gorilla. The girl got the gorilla, the boy got the pail of water. And of course, if she's running with the pail of water to fight crime, she slips and, you know, drops some water. Oh, I'm sorry, is that your left-hand side of the brain, you know? Oh, you wake up next morning, you're back to human again, and you have no feet. You know, who was into ABC cartoons and they had Schoolhouse Rock? Remember that? Schoolhouse Rock? Here, munch this, here, munch that. Now you're not just bored, you're fat. Don't drown your food. Lolly, 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 get your adverbs here. Now take it from the chopper. And the chopper, hey, that's me. If you want to have great choppers, exercise your teeth. Exercise your choppers, really chew, chew, chew. Exercise your choppers on some good hot food. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think drawing at RISD and many people do, and I've noticed at drawing class, and maybe it's just me, but do you guys dress the models with your eyes too? I wonder, did they make love with their clothes on too? You know, there's talk about Nancy Kerrigan. Nancy Kerrigan, yes. Now she's a cover girl. You know, you got Elle McPherson, you got Cindy Crawford, you got Nancy Kerrigan. So, you know, you remember she's on the Disney float. This sucks. Mrs. Carney. You know, you can make you sing. Nancy, I was kind of broke up last weekend. I was wondering if you'd like to come to my sunny villa. You know, but of course, Mickey hasn't been the first person to do that on Nancy, so. Oh, thank you. I was talking about Grimace before. You know, you never see Barney the dinosaur and Grimace together. Same time, never. Attention, the alcohol you've just drank has been replaced by Folgers crystals. You know, relationships was a lot of fun when I was a kid. Relationships in the fifth, you know, sixth, seventh grade. You know, you got the basic idea. Okay. Billy, you want to go out? Okay. 5 minutes later, I'm through. I can't handle it. I can't go on. We're through. I'm so devastated. And then, you know, you get those notes in class, you know, like, it says like poll lines, this fancy, you know, rap note, says poll, you open it up, says, well, I'm having class right now, and this teacher is talking about something I can't understand, and it's so boring. Thank you. So he goes, oh, I gotta go now. The bell is just rung. Thank you. Like, there's no content there. There's nothing there. The paper folding. Would you try to do it again? Try to put it back in its original form and put it in the shoebox? Maybe you'll remember that maybe she liked you. You know, it's more interesting than the actual content. But it's so long, you know. You know, I asked for advice in relationships. It's like, well, what you gotta do, Spark, is give the little lady something to think about. Give her some Reeboks, huh? Or like, you know, I asked like my friend Sean Connery, sure you want to get to her, right? She goes like, you pull it up. You say, when we're at hospital, he sees the windows and all that. That's the Chicago way. When I lost Mashiko, I was devastated. I will show you that thing. Thank you. You know, I was thinking about Beavis and Butthead too, as far as like celebrity friends of mine. And the Beavis and Butthead have no parents. You notice that? They have no parents. The Peanuts characters had parents, you know? Beavis and Butthead's parents would be like this. So, you know, speaking of characters, you know, I always like cereal, you know, like to get the prize inside, you know, like, you know, you get Captain Crunch, you know, Captain Crunch, that's an idea. Oh, we gotta come up with this idea for a cereal, you know, we're all constipated, we've been here for 12 hours, I got an idea. Let's make a cereal that's shaped like little barrels. That's a good idea. No, and then of course, when you go to get the prize inside, you don't want to ruin the box, because you know, once you shove your hand in there, you never get the box back to the original form, because it, you know, flakes all shift and everything. So you go, well, I'll tip the box to the side and see if the prize rolls, you know, I'm going to do it this way. Or, you know, you'll do it on, and you'll shove your hand in there because you can't take it, you rip the wax bag beyond recognition. You're supposed to be able to refold that thing. No, you're never gonna get it. So it's got this kind of box that used to be like this. Now it's like, you're like, well, I can't get the top back together. You know, so you get your prize. I never got prizes because all my parents would buy was Grape Nuts and Cheerios. There's nothing in those except for 20 cents off fruit juice. Grape Nuts. No grapes, no nuts. Okay. Yeah, so I was thinking, you know, another good cereal was Mr. T. I pity the fool, drinks my cereal. Think of the A-Team, you know? Who likes A-Team out there, huh? Yeah, okay, so typical A-Team. Okay, you know, if you can find them, if they wander into your town and they ask for no money for doing great things with guns and they never shoot anybody, then maybe you can find them, you can get help like and stuff. So they wander into your town, you're a bunch of migrant farm workers, right? But you own a piece of land that a big developer needs in order to make some big shopping mall, right? So basically, you're the A-Team. So you wait around till the big guys and the GMCs come in with the hats and the 22 rifles riding in the back of the trucks, right? And they go, oh, you guys are gonna give us your land and stuff? And the A-Team, you know, says, you guys can just go away with the A-Team and we're gonna kick your butt. So then they go back to their boss, and the boss says, you idiots, you want to done, Mike, you have to do it yourself. And it's the same boss every time, you know? So one guy who's Dean Wormer in Animal House, it's that guy every time. Yeah, so then pretty soon, 45 minutes after, you know, B.A. Baracus pops out the power torch, you know, and makes like a B-2 bomber out of an ashtray and uses some silly putty, and then they're like, oh, well, don't pity the fool, put me on a plane. but I'll take that drug cheeseburger you just gave me. No, hypodermic needle? Is this supposed to calm me down? Okay, I'm getting sleepy. Should I be worried? So, and of course, you know, they got that old laugh at the end. Oh, I'll smoke a stogie and look like someone else, Hannibal. And then, yeah. So, it was, one of the sad things about growing up is you get to drive and you get pulled over. No, I thought cops. And the thing about getting pulled over is, you know, you're immediately a customer service person. You're like, what can I help you with, mister? Can I help you, officer? What have I done wrong, officer? Down aisle 12 next to the family planning aisle, officer. You know, and they're all nervous. License and registration. You know, usually these cops out on a date. Ma'am, I'd like to take you out, but first, may I see your license and registration, please? No roses? I have donuts. You know, and, yeah. Cold-baby, no clubs, no babies. Shabooms! Shabites. Mentos, the fresh maker. Have you seen those commercials, Mentos? Yeah, you know those commercials are telling you can do whatever you want as long as you say, hey, I've got Mentos, I'm okay. You know, the kid's trying to get to the concert, oh, it's sold out. So he grabs some band equipment and shows the girl the Mentos. She's like, okay, I'm not gonna call security. It's like, I'm gonna shoot the president. Mentos, Secret Service, okay, fire away. You know, it's like, sure, go ahead, you got Mentos, you know. The guy walks in this guy's car, right? Because he has to get through the car because he's parked in the, the walking lane, and the guy's like, hogging the car phone. What's going on? Why are you walking through my car? He's like, I've got Mentos. Walk on through, piss on the upholstery, I don't care, you got Mentos. Thank you. Yeah. It's, Providence weather, isn't that great, Providence weather? It's spring and not. Just kidding. Now, I was on the show of David Letterman the other week, and caught a lot of panic, a lot of fear, and I was thinking, we should make some new books, you know, like Jet Sex, how about weight and height and age. Yeah, so, you know, this is like as good as like Yogi Bear doing stand-up, you know? Hey, boo-boo, the night I lived in was so small, the roadmap was actual size. Yeah, Yogi, you suck. And I was thinking, logic now, what if in fact we had rubber roads and asphalt tires instead of asphalt roads and rubber tires? Because then the rubber roads would be much easier to take care of, you know? So, you figure, Mr. Goodbench, that'll be Mr. Goodbench. Artie, can you help me here? I gotta get this tire here. Yeah, so then you'd have like inner tubing would be like competing with submarines. Okay, there you go. Can you imagine a tire swing? Here, Jimmy. So, yeah. You know, what do I hate? I get a phone call from somebody. They go, hi, how you doing? Oh, I'm fine. So, how was your day? Oh, it's fine. How was yours? Oh, I had a really good weekend. What'd you do? Oh, nothing. Who are you? But you can't ask that question. You can't say, who is this person on the line? Because you've already had half a conversation. They think you know you. Because then, of course, if you say, who are you? And it ends up being a girlfriend, or, you know, whatever, then they're going to be like, should I really be going out with this guy? You know, is this really the man I want who can't recognize my voice when I talk to him? Because you know, people, you sound different on the phone, so it's like, who are you? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to say your name instead of the, you idiot! That's it, we're through, you know. Yeah, the jokes you just heard were funny, only the punchlines have been changed to protect the audience. No, thank you. The final thing I'm going to do with my impersonation of the Vanilla Ice tribute concert that they're going to play in here. And so first you got Pearl Jam, you know, Red Storm, collaboration, listen, nice, back with the brain, invention, something. There's a hold me tightly, flows like a harpoon daily and nightly. Then Elvis, or that was Stone Temple Pilots, or Pearl Jam, doesn't matter. But Elvis, you know, oh, it'll never stop, yo, I don't know, turn off the lights and I'll glow. And then there's Tom Petty. To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal, light at the stage, wax a chin up like a candle. And Axl Rose. And then, you know, you got Bob Dylan. Don't let Bud, don't let Bud go. Don't let Bud, don't let Bud go. You know, did you love that on Saturday Night Live when he did that song? And so they're like, white boy go? Exactly. Nothing. Repeat like, yes. And then finally, Nixon, rolling in my 5.0 with my ragdoll down so I heard him blow. Early's on the standby, waiting just to say hi. Did I stop? No, I just rolled by. Thank you!
Okay, give yourselves a big hand for staying. And reminding you to help control the pet population and buy fur coats. Good night, everybody.
This show is shot at AS220 on Empire Street in Providence, Rhode Island. You have been tuned to a special presentation of Noise Party. Please tune in next week, where we'll continue with our program of fine music. Thank you for tuning in. This is Francis DiMenno. Noise Party is funded by the Middle East Cafe at 472 and 480 Massachusetts Avenue in Central Square in Cambridge. Noise Party is broadcast every Tuesday night on Channel 66 at 9 p.m. Next week on Noise Party, we'll be featuring another performance caught live at AS220 with The Wrong Hero, Keith and Rick, the Kaporchniks, and Sir Guy de Guy. Thank you for tuning in, and this is Francis DiMenno saying good night.